Click.
Welcome back to Sonic and the Black Knight. So now it's time to
Alright.
face King Arthur.
The good medicine is Sonic Mania.
Wait, we're at the end of the game already? Wow, that's fast.
Well, hey, we've got the theme and everything.
Gotta go fast, Desi.
How did you get here so quickly?
I'm Sonic. You know, you should know this by now.
I love that line at least.
Yeah.
Your impersonation of a knight.
So who's recording this again? Pedro?
Me.
Yeah,
Pedro. Hence why I have to add in an addendum to properly do the final mission of this game.
How long did it take you to record this?
Did I recorded this 3 years ago? I don't remember.
Alright.
That's why also it's in 480. Anyway, defeat the boss, or more appropriately with the song "Fight the Knight."
And now we're
Yes,
doing.
and this
vocal
time it's the
version of Fight
vocal
the Knight.
version by Crush 40. Yeah.
Also, can I just say how goofy it is the fact that he's attacking you with his hand out of a black hole? Like,
So yeah, this boss battle is kind of an expansion of the first boss battle we had against him, but this time we're actually going to go all the way and actually beat him.
oh, his steed goes faster, just like you.
Yeah, that's another thing. You cannot outrun him, even if you use the soul gauge.
Okay, seriously.
Which, when we actually do find out the truth about King Arthur, makes sense in context.
This is actually kind of ridiculous.
Basically, the way the boss battle works is you have to get close enough to trigger the Wiimote waggling minigame. It can be hard because you have to trigger the soul gauge running at the right time when you're really close to him. It can be hard if you don't time it properly.
Besides
I don't know
Deji,
about that. I don't know about
Besides-
that, Deji.
go ahead.
Personally, I have a little bit more of a suspension of disbelief in this franchise. I mean, and that's why Sonic having us doesn't really bother me as much as it does.
Also, Deji,
Tommy
consider
Johnny
it.
and that.
Also, Deji, not for nothing, but honestly, after like what 5 games of the of the series writing trying to be way too self-aware for its own good, I'm just glad it's. At this point, honestly, if you ask me, Sonic's writing is at its best when it embraces its own silliness rather than try to be satirical and shit.
Yeah,
What
believe
do
it
you
or
mean
not.
by satirical?
Colorism.
Pontic and Graph.
No, Generations. Colors out of our bounds.
Wait,
well-
Generations barely had any right.
Well, actually, I'm
Yeah.
talking more about Shattered Crystal.
Contact and graph.
Yeah.
Okay. Shattered Crystal. I mean, Colors wasn't even really bad. At worst, it was harmless, and at best, it could actually be pretty
It was a
funny.
nice change of pace and a nice breather, but it wasn't something that should have continued.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. That I can agree with.
The problem is that.
Personally, I don't see what's so bad about. I don't see what's so bad about light-hearted writing in a series of a blue fast hedgehog.
It's not.
There's nothing
We're not
wrong with
asking for dark and edgy
light-hearted
writing, Dwiz. We're just asking for a
neither.
balance.
It's just how it's executed.
We're just asking for a balance, Dwiz. A good story that feels weighty, but at the same time doesn't take itself way too seriously.
If anything, so far
Something Akin to what Level 5 does.
What
If
Sonic
anything, so
Forces
far,
looks like it's doing.
so far forces seem to actually going in that direction.
I can
a
feel
quote-unquote-
Pedro's rage from the
like we
text.
Yeah.
quote-unquote serious story, but still with it some silly moments.
Alright, let me give you an example, Dwibs. Kuni's plot as a perfect balance of seriousness and comedy. How about we try something like that for Sonic? That would work, I think.
I mean, we have actually had good balance for Sonic before, and again, Forza seems to be bringing that back. In fact, you know, even the game we're doing right now here, Black Knight, has a good bout of comedy.
Yeah,
here
I actually
and
really,
there.
that's like I've said before. In terms of writing, this is my favorite Sonic game.
Really?
Yes, this is the only. First of all, I think the Sonic's characterization in this game is the better one. Like,
For me,
he's
the
cocky and stuff, but it's
characterization-
not way too cocky to the point where he starts talking to himself, and pointlessly. But anyway, I'll cutscene. It
About that.
Yeah,
You lie.
It'll grow back. It'll grow back. Don't worry.
Hey Teo, you can
Yes.
kill me, I'm immortal.
Is that a reference?
Mortal Kombat at the Alliance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just like the Lady of the Lake said, we can use the free swords to take out...
Trap him in the Illuminati triangle.
No, we just take away his immortality.
And we'll finish it with a samurai slash. Because that's what's so fitting with the King Arthur legend.
No.
Well, to be fair to you, it's not like he's the natural knight, so it's not like...
We don't know that yet.
I also really love the music in this stage.
No, I was meaning
This
using
cutscene,
a
sorry.
Japanese sword.
And that was
technique.
Sonic and the Black Knight. Not really.
Yeah.
Anyway...
Can I get my final thoughts?
No, Dwibs. I'm just going to spoil everything and just say that this is not the real ending. We'll save it for later. Anyway, to continue what I was saying, basically, Deji, for example, one of the things that what I like about the story in this game in particular is that it manages to have a good moral and try to have its try to raise its. Let me put it this way: try to raise the stakes at the correct times, while at the same time still being lighthearted and not take itself way too seriously. This is the kind of tone that I wish all Sonic games had: a balance, not an extreme or the other, like it's been for years.
Yeah,
So you mean like what the comics were doing for all these years?
I've never read the comics, so I cannot.
The comic.
Well, an era.
The last time I read a Sonic comic was back in the 90s when Ken Penders, and you can probably guess what happened why I stopped reading the comics.
Too many original
Not
characters.
to mention, Deji, for as much as we love the Archie comics, even in the modern time, they have.
Oh yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Do you know what franchise we're fucking talking about?
What I'm saying is like,
Every
do you
franchise ever.
Again,
yeah,
this is
true.
Sonic. This is the most diverse, controversial.
By the way,
That's one of the things that I really appreciate about Force's story, because at the very least it seems like it actually gives a shit about itself for once.
I
And
actually feel very weird that I'm looking forward to
for me, I get the feeling. Here's the feeling I get from this. This is my perspective, obviously. The feeling I get.
Remind the audience we don't know what the plot of Forces will unfold at this point when we're recording. Go ahead, Pedro.
I get the feeling Sonic 4. Again, this is my perspective. You guys feel free to disagree if you want. But I get the feeling that game is going to be, to me at least, the new Black Knight, in the sense that I don't really like the gameplay, at least from what I've seen of it so far, at least. But I'm really appreciating what they're doing with the story. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the story is going to be good. I'm just saying that I appreciate the fact that it's at very least. Like I said before, the whole uppy derpy derp, we're self-aware thing that Pontek and Graf have been doing for years. If you ask me, it's overstayed its welcome and it needs to go.
Which is funny because I think
It fits only for the Boom TV series at this point.
which is funny because I think one of the two at least is involved in the. I'm not sure if it's just translating the.
They're translating. Nakamura already confirmed via Twitter that the content in the localized script will still be the same. So they're on a leash this time, apparently.
what's that? You're probably wondering. We're not scared that Nakamura is confirmed to be on the writing team. Shock.
It's been 11 years.
Well, actually, considering how I actually, for as bad as it is, I'll still take 06's writing over Shattered Crystal, because at least 06's script is funny to make fun of, whereas Shattered Crystal is just painful.
By
You know, the
boring.
weird thing is that both Contact and Graph actually had a better idea of Colors, because Colors actually did have a dark moment there and actually did raise the stakes.
Yeah, the problem.
mean,
here's my theory, Jova. I honestly think they themselves don't know what made Color's script work, and at this point they're just trying their best to recapture it, but they don't. They themselves, I think, don't know.
I get the feeling they were more proud of those annoying jokes with Orbot and Cubot.
Well, no. That wouldn't really work because, okay, to be fair, we only really have Shattered Crystal to prove that point on, because with Generations, it's been long since confirmed that the story got cut. They had a bigger story in the making.
True.
It got cut because of Sega. Lost World also got its story development rushed again.
So maybe that's the reason why Forces took so long to make. We actually wanted to keep everything this time.
Honestly, Theo, we don't have evidence for when it comes to Forces,
Well, that's why I asked.
But based on everything we've seen, and people on SSMB already said it, and I even agreed with them when we were having that discussion on a topic. it really feels like they were planning on making a Generations 2, but then somehow sometime in development, they completely changed direction because they realized that people didn't want a Generations 2. That's the feeling I
They
get.
want to make a Generations 2, but yet we're still making a Generations 2.
Before the part ends, Dej, I have a question. Since you seem to be more proficient with the Sonic Archie run,
Yeah.
did you actually ever have...
So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I find this piano piece beautiful. This is Jun Sono's with me on a piano. It sounds beautiful.
Oh, piano cover.
I keep forgetting Jun Snowy plays piano.
Why shouldn't he?
Dwebs, actually, Dwebs, every single musician who gets training in the piano. So I'm pretty sure
That's where you learn how to read notes.
I'm sure there are some musicians do their compositions from like other instruments.
Jova?
No, but what Pedro is saying...
Well, let's ask Jova.
Yeah.
Jova, go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes, so long as we're just really good at transposing.
Yeah, but most of them use the piano because it's a really easy way to do it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. You're both right. I mean, we can do it without the piano at times, but it is ideal to use the piano when doing that, unless you're using an online program.
Mm-hmm.
My question, Deji, before we go, was, did Sonic ever had a crossover with Sabrina the Witch?
Yes.
Alright then, that's what I needed to know. See you for the next.
Oh, there's plenty of crossovers.
See you, everybody.
So yeah.